Hey guys, welcome to my first video about my graphic novel. And in this series, I'm trying to do some ASMR stuff about my graphic novel, and I'm just gonna ramble on about my ideas, my drawings, the world that I created, my characters, and all that shit. So hopefully you guys can relax to this, and hopefully you guys can enjoy, and feel free to close your eyes and get bored and fall asleep, hopefully. And yeah, so what is Umbryoss Echoes? Umbryoss Echoes, I'm not too sure, to be honest, because I just wanted to create something that's fun, that's horror based, that's action based, and high fantasy. So I just want to talk about my influences. I'm influenced by Junji Ito. I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I just love 80s like weird horror shit like The Thing, Blob, The Fly, and all that practical effects movies and all that. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I always wanted to do something like that, and at the same time, I've been influenced by like a lot of anime growing up. So anime like Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and all that, and just 90s stuff in general. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. Sometimes I do get excited and forget that I am making sorry, I do have a starter, guys. That I'm making a ASMR video. So please be patient with me. I'm still new to this, and you might hear me repeat some stuff, but that's part of ASMR. So yeah, hopefully you guys can enjoy. This is the first video for Umbryoss Echoes, and I just realized I repeated myself, but that's the point. It's part of rambling. So, and hopefully you guys can stick to it. So, Umbryoss Echoes, what is it? So, ever since I was young, I'm always been fascinated by spirits and Pokemon, right? So, I always wanted to do something like Pokemon, and I love stuff like shamans and masks and capturing spirits and trying to figure out like how does someone use spirits to to fight, or to help them cook, or help them become an athlete and all that. So I was like, let's make a series based on shamans. So naturally, what is the weakness of shamans? What is the goal of shamans? And it at least in my world, like it's not based on the real world that we live in. So shamans in my world are protectors of spirits, and they call on to spirits and try to get the help. And then there's some shamans in there in my world, they unfortunately use shamans to cause combat, hurt others. And sometimes shamans, they go around trying to find possessed people that are possessed by spirits, and try to save them. They try to enter their mind and be like, hey, this person is clearly possessed by something. Like, for example, let's say like you're very weak, right? And you train, you lift weights, you do push-ups, you try to do kicks and punches and shit like that, but you're not getting anywhere. You're not growing muscles. You're weaker than a baby. You try to like steal candy from a baby, you can't do it, you know? That's how weak you are. And then, what if there was a spirit that was as strong as the Hulk? And they could see that you're weak. And this strong as bodybuilder of a beast, a spirit would be like, hey, you're weak as, sorry to swear, but you're weak as fuck. And let's do something about it. And of course, you're in a state of being weak, being pathetic. Your wife gives you shit. Your husband gives you shit. Your friends like, oh, don't call him. You know, like I want to move some shit, but don't call him. So you might be in a very strong emotional state. So that means it makes it, when you're in an emotional state in my world, that makes it easier for spirits to possess you. So this Hulk spirit comes in, possesses this weak person, and then you're stronger, and you do it, but at the same time, you're too strong. You might destroy homes. You might accidentally hit your wife and kill her. You might accidentally, hit your kids away. I don't know. Like, the point of this story is spirits can be helpful, but at the same time, if you can't control it, then you need a shaman to come in and be like, hey, let me enter your mind, let me figure out your mind space and see that, oh, you need help, you were possessing me. Sorry, let me say that again. You need help. Let me enter your mind and figure out what is possessing you. And then figure out, or they enter your mind and figure out, hey, this person has been living their lives. That means there's a chance that they've been possessed by a muscle spirit. Something that helps them give them strength, physical strength. So a shaman would enter that person's mindscape and try and find the spirit. And when they enter that, and when they enter the mind space, their memories come up. Why did they like this? Why they were so easily possessed by spirit? And like that, they're able to figure out, like, okay, I know it's a muscle spirit, so I'm still figuring out shit, right? So I'm gonna be saying a lot of shit that doesn't make sense, but bear with me. Ask me questions in the comments and all that. This is why this series is called Try and Figure Out My Graphic Novel, right? So these shamans, it's all about trying to bring out a spirit, and I don't know how yet, but like they have some weird shit, some masks, and I don't want to explain this video yet because I'm still trying to figure out, but the goal in the end is to extract the spirit and bring it home back to the life tree. And yeah, so that's the goal of the spirits. I'm sorry, that's the goal of the shamans. So also in my world, shamans are very rare. Like, it's only like maybe 1 in every 10,000 humans are born shamans. So what makes shamans so special? So shamans in my world are naturally born with a massive amount of spiritual energy. Like, for example, like a normal human would be lucky. A normal human would be lucky to have like a cup full of spiritual energy, while a shaman would have like a ocean full of spiritual energy. So what does it mean? Why is spiritual energy so important? So this allows them to interact with spirits. This allows them to do like shit like, for a fireball, for example. you know, and this allows them to open up their third eye. Like, hey, I'm gonna use this third eye to track spirits. I can see there's a red spirit there. There's a spirit in. Sorry, there's a spirit that, you know, that's in distress. Let's go find it and bring it home. Let's go find it and help out and figure out why it's in distress. And also in this world, if a spirit is lost, they slowly become a goo. Like, for example, if a spirit is attached to honey, and then the thing is, a spirit can't eat, right? So a spirit would spend all his time trying to lick the honey, try to touch it, you know that, but yet he can't. And this might cause, you know, a distress. This must cause, and over time, this physical attachment to honey will cause it to become physical, but the rules are that that's something that's, you know, that's a ship. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. So if you become attached to honey, you will slowly become physical to it. Let me start again. So when a spirit has physical attachments, they will slowly become a black goo, which is that they will devolve into something that's like the all they want is spiritual energy. So they become a black. Oh, yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? When I think about it, I'm having trouble explaining it because, you know, this is pretty much. I've only explained it to a couple people, and they were able to ask me questions on that. So, you know, so yeah, so please be patient with me. But yeah, let me try again. So in my world, when a spirit have really strong physical attachments to something, and they can't attain this physical attachment, they will slowly become distressed and lost. And when a lost spirit, what happens to a lost spirit is they will slowly become a physical ooze of some sort. And this ooze, all they want to do is feed off spiritual energy. So they will seek something, they will seek animals, they will seek plants, they will seek trees that have strong physical energy, and slowly drain it. And what happens when you drain your spiritual energy? Most likely you will die. So the goal of the shaman is to try to maintain that. And this physical ooze is called Umbryoss. And that is what the Umbryoss is. Umbryoss is lost spirits that has become this physical ooze. So yeah, and because it's that's only one spirit, right? So imagine a bunch of spirits become lost and become this ooze and become attached. They join in, and all they do is seek out spiritual energy. But at the same time, for example, if this ooze drops on a human, for example, you hear all the suffering of the spirits, sort of like echoes. So that's why it's called Umbryoss Echoes.